Okay, today I'm doing something different. I'm doing something that I normally wouldn't do, but seeing I am getting so fed up with the lies and rumors that the tabloids and media has been spreading about the late King of Pop Michael Jackson, I really felt the need to make this video. Now, I'm going to say this once. If you are someone who hates Michael Jackson and do not want your opinion to change about him because you hate him so much, don't watch this video and don't leave a comment. Especially if it's a negative, nasty comment attacking either him, me, or both of us. Because if you do leave a nasty comment, it will be removed and you will be blocked. So don't even bother. Moving forward, I'm assuming that most of you who are watching this video are either diehard fans of his, like me, or is someone who's casual, who's, neutral, who doesn't really know much about the man, but you're curious enough to see what myths have been said about him. Well, the whole purpose of this video is to name the most popular myths about him and for me to debunk them completely. Enough is enough. The proof is out there, and the media and the tabloids need to stop lying about this guy who is dead and can't defend himself. So, let's move on to the first myth about Michael Jackson. When you first hear that, you might think it's true. Hell, even I thought it was true once, when I was an idiot kid who didn't know any better. But if you think long and hard about how logical that sounds, you realize it doesn't sound logical at all. You see, bleach is very bad for you. If you were to drink an 8-ounce glass of bleach, you would probably die. So if you were to bleach your entire body, you would probably die. So something tells me it is not possible to bleach your skin. And seeing there has been no other people out in the world who have attempted to bleach their skin, something tells me that Michael Jackson did not bleach his skin. In fact, I have a good, logical, and truthful explanation on why his skin went from black to white. It's this little thing called vitiligo. What is vitiligo and what causes it? Vitiligo is a pigmentation disorder which melanocytes, the cells that make the pigmentation in the skin, are destroyed. As a result, white patches appear on the skin in different parts of the body. Similar patches also appear on both the mucous membranes, tissues that are on the inside of the mouth and nose, thus explaining why Michael's lips were tattooed. Because he had vitiligo, he didn't have any pigmentation there, so he had to tattoo his lips so they look normal. The hair that grows in the areas affected by the vitiligo, sometimes it turns white. The cause of vitiligo is not known, but doctors and researchers have several different theories. There is a strong evidence that people with vitiligo inherit a group of 3 genes that make them susceptible to depigmentation. The most widely accepted view is that the depigmentation occurs because vitiligo is an autoimmune disease, a disease in which a person's immune system reacts against the body's own organs or tissues. It was also stated that Michael Jackson had lupus, which is also an autoimmune disease. As such, people's bodies produce proteins called cytokines that alter the pigmentation producing cells and cause these cells to die. Another theory is that the melanocytes destroy themselves. Finally, some people have reported that a single event such as sunburn or emotional distress triggered vitiligo. However, these events have not scientifically proven as causes of vitiligo. The thing with Michael Jackson, vitiligo was inherited. He has stated, and so have his siblings, such as LaToya, have stated that vitiligo runs in their father's side. Recently, the tabloids have been targeting Michael's oldest son, Prince. They have pictures of him in Hawaii, where under his, I believe his right arm, like around where his armpit is, there's a huge patch of discolored skin. The tabloids are acknowledging that might be a sign of vitiligo, which makes sense because, Michael Jackson had vitiligo. It runs down his father's side, so the fact that one of his kids has it proves to me that he had this disease. And it also proves that the kids are biologically his. But we'll get to that myth later on. So, Pretty much what I'm saying to you guys is that Michael Jackson did not bleach his skin. He had vitiligo, which destroyed the pigmentation of his skin. The worst thing he did was put on makeup to even out his skin tone. Because if he didn't put on makeup, he would look like a Dalmatian. I'm saying that with no disrespect to Michael Jackson. I'm just saying that if he did not wear makeup, he would probably look like a Dalmatian. So let's move forward to the second myth about Michael Jackson. Just because some guy on Extra claims that Michael Jackson was gay doesn't mean it's true. There is footage of Michael Jackson denying the fact that he was gay, and the fact that he was married to 2 women should also prove that he was not gay. But people don't seem to want to accept the fact that he was not gay. Because he didn't act like a manly man. So if you don't act like a manly man, I guess that means you're gay. Well, you know, I'm not exactly the most feminine woman out there, so I guess people are going to assume that I'm a lesbian. Well, guess what, people? I'm not. I'm attracted to men. So just because a man doesn't act manly 24/7 doesn't mean that he's gay. And for those who are die-hard Michael Jackson fans, I'm sure you've heard all of his songs. And the songs that he has about women, some of them are very sexual. Now, if he really wasn't attracted to women, why would he be writing sexual songs about them? I mean, the song Break of Dawn, for instance. That's pretty much a song about having sex. And he seems to be enjoying himself when he's singing it. Also, the song You Rock My World, he's singing to a woman. The Way You Make Me Feel, he's singing to a woman. Those 2 songs were written by Michael Jackson himself. So if he's a gay man, why would he be writing songs about women and his attraction towards them? So people, Michael Jackson was not gay. Don't believe Arnie Klein when he says that he's gay, because you want to know something? Arnie Klein does not know shit, and he's only saying those things because he wants to get money. I don't believe a word that comes out of that guy's mouth, and neither does the Jackson family. And neither should the rest of the world. And the fact that he's showing up on tabloid TV shows such as Extra and Access Hollywood, that should tell you alone that he's lying. So, I'll say this one more time. Michael Jackson was not gay. Let's move forward to the next myth. I don't get why the media is trying to say that the kids aren't biologically his. Why? Because Arnie Klein, which was mentioned in the last myth, is trying to claim that he's the biological father? Or that Debbie Rose trying to claim that, it was a sperm donor? Well, those 2 people aren't exactly the most truthful people in the world. And for all I know, the thing about Debbie Rose saying that could have been something that a tabloid rumor made up. The thing is, take a good look at Prince and Blanket. Notice that their eyes are both dark brown like their father's. Notice that both children have the same eyebrow structure as their father. Notice that Blanket looks like a miniature version of his father. And finally, this was even stated by LaToya Jackson, Prince did inherit vitiligo. Now that's too much of a coincidence that if this kid is supposedly not biologically his, that he magically has the same disease that plagued his father. Pretty much, people, unless there's a DNA test that's broadcasted all over the place that says that the kids aren't biologically his, I'm going to say that they are biologically his because, they have his features. And some people are like, oh, well, they aren't dark skinned, so they must not be his biological kids. Anyone who says that is an idiot. There are plenty of biracial children out there who have a white mother or a black father or vice versa, and they're not black, or they don't have, dark skin. In fact, I was watching Losing It with Jillian the other day, and they had this episode with a mother and her 2 children. The father was dead, but the father was an African American, and he was a very, very dark African American, and their children were light-skinned like the mother. Their skin was slightly darker than the mother's, but, they would still come across as looking Caucasian. But if you took the time to study their faces, you would see that they had African American features. And if you take the time to study the faces of Prince, Paris, and Blanket, you would see that they have African American features. There's actually a bunch of YouTube videos out there that have comparison pictures comparing, Michael when he was a kid and comparing him to Blanket, and they look a lot alike. So people, Michael Jackson's kids are biologically his. His family says that they're biologically his. He said himself that they are biologically his, so they are biologically his.